Hello and welcome. My name is Lorrayne and this is Living Your Best Life, the channel for starseeds, lightworkers, and all who are seeking more, better, and expanded. So today we're talking about non-compliance. Non-compliance as a joyful spiritual practice, as a practice of allowing yourself to filter into your awareness a new possibility. Now, we all have heard the term non-compliance, and usually it's used in the form of you're not complying, therefore you're bad. You're causing problems. And over the last 2 years, we have heard this narrative pushed really hard. So, non-compliance throughout history has been a way to create change in the greater field. To not, in truth, if you want to look at it from a spiritual, energetic perspective, by your non-compliance, you are taking your attention away from the external that is something you do not want. And this is how you want to use this mechanism, and placing it where you want it. What is it that you want to be manifesting in your life as opposed to what you do not want? Now, in the art of manifestation, the law of attraction, the magnetic pull always happens from your feelings, from your energetic, here I'm holding this so intently, I'm feeling every aspect of it. This is what draws anything to you. And if your attention is always angry because you're having to do something you don't want to do, you're going to be attracting more of what you're angry about and don't want to do. But if you, in a joyful state, practice non-compliance in focusing on the desired result. What is it that you really want? And this video really isn't about the law of attraction, but I wanted to point this out from that aspect. Now, joyful non-compliance is going in to your spirit self and expressing from that place. Now, I did a video on rocking the rules, breaking the programming, and I will link it in here somewhere, or I'll put it at the end. I know how to do that. So, non-compliance. We as human, energetic, powerful beings are not compliers. We are not rule followers, and we are not fearful of some external force. Now, this may not be evident to you based on what you see with your eyes, but our true nature, our starseed, powerful light being nature is to be free-flowing, to be energetically alive and unbounded. And if you are complying to the external, and let's face it, right now and in the last 2 years, we have been systematically programmed to comply. It started out with 2 weeks, and then it was, 3 months, and then it was a year, and then it was 2 years, and they're still trying to push it in to 2022, but we have become joyful, peaceful non-compliers. Now, I haven't really complied. For the first 2 weeks I did. I went along with the program. as we all did, because we didn't know what we were facing. We didn't have enough knowledge and information, and we were fear-driven. We were bombarded by the fear, and everyone went, ugh, and we all complied. Now, that was about as far as I complied. June of 2022, when we had that major lockdown, and then we had all been kind of freed up, I flew on a plane across the country to Seattle, the hotbed of the beginning of all this crazy. I didn't wear a mask. I sat next to people that weren't wearing masks. And guess what? I hugged people, and I hung out, and I had a great time, and not a single person got sick. So, one has to wonder. And then I traveled all the way back across the country driving, and it was a strange, interesting time. It was when all of the riots and looting and killing and maiming things started. I happened to be driving across the country when that started, so I avoided all big cities. But if we are complying, whether we realize it or not, to any dictate external of our inner core, then we are handing our power away to an external force. And if you have learned nothing from me, I hope that nothing else from me, I hope that you have learned that you go within for your inner guidance first. And if you take all of the external mandates that have been imposed on humanity, the entirety of humanity, over the last 2 years, and you bring it within your heart space, and you truly ask yourself, does this make sense? And is this logical? And then what comes up from your inner core is what you follow. Now, I'm not saying you should follow anything that I say. I want you to go within and follow your inner guidance, no matter what that inner guidance is telling you. But here's the thing. Critically ask yourself, is this the truth or is this an inserted program? If you really dive deep into your reality, or what you perceive as your reality, you will discover that probably 99.999 into infinity % of everything you believe to be true is an inserted program from the external reality. We have been programmed systematically from the time we were conceived in the womb. Now, this is kind of a daunting thing if you think about it, but it comes right back to this concept of non-compliance. We have been programmed to be compliant workers, to be useful to someone else in their lives, not our own. We have been programmed to be good little people that follow the rules, that do everything we're told, and, get through school, then go get a job and get married and have kids, and, your 2.5 children and your dog and your car and your house, and do your job and pay your taxes and be a good little human. Well, I'm sorry. We are way bigger than that. We are fun-loving, expanded, creative, powerful beings of the universe. And if we are complying to the programs that have been instilled in us, then we are not going to our true nature, our true powerful, I can't think of the word, it just flew right out of my head, but you get the point. I want to encourage you to look beyond the programming. And I know how hard it is, because if you don't know something, if you don't know something is possible, then you have no concept for your inner guidance to guide you with. But if you take the time every day to center within your heart space and truly ask your higher self. I don't encourage you to call in any other beings or any other entities into your reality until you can discern what is your inner knowledge, because this is what I'm trying to teach you, is you need to go into your own inner higher self knowledge. Don't call in other beings. And I know other people like to do that, and that's all well and good. But if you want to learn what your inner higher self is teaching you, then you got to go to that source, and that source alone. So intend yourself to connect to your higher self, to your God self, or your source self, or your universal self. You as an individual fractal of the divine. Connect with that energy. And it's easy to do if you give yourself permission to settle down, to not focus on the repetitive thoughts running through your mind. You see, we have three brains. We have the thinking logical brain, we have the heart brain, and we have the gut brain. And they have functions that are very necessary for us to exist in a 3D reality. But we are not 3D beings. We are walking around in a bodysuit of our own creation on some level of our beingness. But we are not the body. Although we need to honor the body and love the body, we are not the body. We are so big that fitting ourselves down into this body was a super shock when we all birthed into this reality. I remember growing up thinking, yikes! And then saying in my mind, when I learned this biblical phrase, why hast thou forsaken me? Feeling like I had been dumped here. And honestly, my early childhood was a little weird. And there were things that happened that, we all have a story. So, but there are things that happen to us, particularly us as starseeds. We have really traumatic life experiences that are trying to sever us from our cosmic connection. We are a threat to the energy of control, and anything that can be done to sever our connection from our source is attempted, because we shine light. We shine frequency and energy that is so visible to the forces that would rather not have light in the world, and it's attempted takeout. Let's just put it that way. So we are programmed for these compliant behaviors, and when we learn to connect to our heart and gut brains, our sensory feeling brains, then we need to shut off the logical thinking brain, the conscious brain, go into the inner core of who we are and connect to our higher selves, our divine source and access knowledge and information there. At first, you may get nothing. But as you continue to bring yourself down to your core and ask for guidance and information, it will begin to show up for you it may not come to you right there. Now, I hear words, so I get stuff dropped down into my conscious awareness. And I have, over my years of training and training myself, I know the knowledge and information that is from my higher self, and that is just from the program. So it takes a while to discern what is the compliant program. And the more you focus on non-compliance, not following the dictates that you have been told your entire life, not accepting everything that you have been told as reality, as true, as fact, the more you move into the energy of this non-compliance, and it's joyful non-compliance. You are discovering who you are at your core and what is the truth, the big T truth, not what you've been fed all your life. You're breaking the cycle of compliance and, what is it that the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil? That was a program to keep us from speaking out what we were feeling, sensing, and knowing. You see, through the millennia, we have been systematically stifled, shut down, closed down, shut off. As long as they could keep us like rats in a maze, doing our compliant little good person role, then everything was good. But you see, the energies of the universe don't want that to be happening. We are in a time of waking up to the truth of who we are as embodied spirit, powerful, creative, the most powerful force in the cosmos. That's us. Us. We are not little humans walking around on this ball. We are powerful creators of worlds and universes. We are magical, expansive. We're just stuffed into these bodies. And they're beautiful, great bodies. And since we are stuffed into them, we need to care for them and love them. But we have to recognize that we are more than these bodies. And when these bodies die, we will still exist. It is impossible to destroy the energy that we are. Energy never dies. All right. So I hope that you learn to listen to your inner guidance, that you practice some joyful non-compliance, that you begin to break free of the programs. And if you need help doing that, I do that with my clients. I love helping people have aha moments and big expansive wows. So you'll find my links down below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, joyfully non-comply. Have a beautiful day.